What is this particular spaghetti-like image? Quite strange to find on a particular planet. And yes, NASA identifies the strange object that its rover found on Mars. Now, we know Mars, of course, is a big next level in terms of how exploration is actually going to be heading towards in the future. Well, maybe Moon first and then later Mars, going to some people. But in terms of this particular image, this really struck my attention. I was like, okay, we're getting into the nitty and gritty. We're talking about James Webb Telescope, looking at a couple of and figuring out the past in terms of getting close to events that happened before the Big Bang and possibly the Big Bang. But most importantly, how is this particular image going to change our understanding about extraterrestrial life in terms of various strange objects that we might find? And this, we know what you do when you're on Earth and you see people littering around. And NASA, yes, we're not actually shying away from that particular possibility, and that possibility is actual reality, where if you read closer down to the article, it says here that NASA suspects the tangled debris which stirred intrigue on the internet is a piece of netting that is called Dacron netting that is used in thermal blankets to protect the spacecraft from extreme temperatures and conditions. Remember that this particular spacecraft was used to move the Perseverance from Earth to Mars, and in here, like when plunging through the Martian atmosphere at about 12,000 miles per hour. Elsewhere, the rover found other scattered remnants of thermal materials. So now the big question is this: if you're finding all these materials and other debris, some really small fine grains to large visible stuff like what we have here in terms of this image, and also this image right here, how will this impact the sampling that this particular Perseverance rover analyzes and sends to Earth? And how are these particular scientists going to be able to differentiate all this? And I believe that they do have many raw information about the specific combination that makes up these thermal materials that are used to build these particular devices. And most importantly, they are able to differentiate those from actual Mars sampling, because that is very important, because whatever slight change or slight addition that is from Earth to the Mars sampling, that could drastically impact our understanding of Mars and how maybe potentially there was life on Mars. So it's kind of interesting that they indeed address this as you read further down along this article, which says that Mars is watching to ensure any sample the rover collects aren't potential contaminated by any Earth debris. Now, Perseverance team members are reviewing images of the debris, checking to see if the material may pose any potential contamination source for the sample tubes from its area. And says here that although there are no immediate concerns identified by the teams at this time, the teams are documenting the EDL, which is also known as entry, descent, and landing gear debris materials as they are identified. So it's really interesting to see this actually coming through in terms of seeing all these images. Kind of hurts a little bit, because we hope that in some time in the future we'll be able to combat any form of littering in terms of not only space travel, but most importantly in terms of not doing what we have, doing the things that we know can damage our environment currently and take that garbage, unfortunately, to other planets, if you're thinking about that particular type of exploration. So in addition, this should challenge us to figure out other ways by which we can explore other planets, and a big sample is what we did with the James Webb Telescope, where it was able to actually detect various particles in the atmosphere on a particular exoplanet from some distance away. And so if you can be able to detect that, use that particular type of technology, that opens the door for other potential technologies that we can actually use to scan various planets without actually dropping specific drones and stuff like that on that particular planet, because of that concern with contamination versus that of actually pure surveillance, like what we have with GPS and stuff like that. So I'm really interested to know your thought about potential ideas that can be implemented in order for we to be able to explore planets without actually landing on that particular planet, and also how that can prevent any further contamination as we land on a planet versus just scanning a planet from out of space. So I hope that in the future, as they build more ships, they should be able to think about other ways of actually collecting them when they land on a new surface or planet, and not only collecting that but keeping or preserving them, so that as maybe in the future when humans comes in, that will save costs in terms of doing that particular exploration of finding all these and gathering them. So I hope this can be something to think about, and I hope the drone shots that they have on Mars will also help in finding those as well. So it's really interesting to see this actually show up. My hopes were high, definitely. I thought this was going to be a huge game changer and pretty cool image, I must say. However, please, I hope that they are able to learn from this, and also the sampling doesn't actually interfere with what we truly understand about Mars, the composition, the combination, and also how the formation of Mars impacts the potential sustainability of life. So I hope you found this particular video interesting. Please hit the comment down below. The article is going to be found in the description box. Check the article out, and I hope to see you all on the next video. All the same, stay smart as always and believe in yourselves.